You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
You have my sword.
My bow.
And my axe.
Alrighty. Let's go put everyone out of their misery, shall we?
Oh, hi there. My name is Prostetnic Vogon Jeffs, and in this video, I'm talking about one of the biggest cinematic disappointments of the 21st century. I'm talking about a movie that is a slap in the face to its devoted fan base. That's right, I'm talking about the big screen adaptation of Stephen King's multiversal masterpiece, 2017's The Dark Tower.
Love your mask.
Sir?
Choose a pretty face and the world is your oyster.
Directed by Danish writer-director Nicola Arkel, best known for the 2012 drama A Royal Affair, and written by a team of 4 incredibly inconsistent industry veterans, The Dark Tower is a shining example of how not to start a cinematic franchise. It stars Idris Elba, Matthew McConaughey, Tom Taylor, the stoner from The Cabin in the Woods, and the chick from Vikings. Oh, it also features Jackie Earle Haley and Dennis Haysbert in criminally underdeveloped roles. The story it's based on is a wonderful pastiche of high fantasy, Arthurian mythology, and spaghetti western, woven into an original sci-fi epic with heavy meta elements. Now, I don't want to spend this whole video comparing the Dark Tower movie to its prose counterpart.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Mainly because it's been years since I've read any of the books. I also think it wouldn't be particularly interesting for anyone unfamiliar with the source material. So I'm primarily going to stick with a breakdown and analysis of the movie. That being said, there are a couple things that need to be addressed. For starters, it's a sequel to the book series. That's right, it's not meant to be an adaptation of the books, but rather an epilogue to the story.
Why?
Book spoilers! The Dark Tower series acts as a time loop of sorts. Roland, the protagonist, is caught in a repeating cycle, doomed to repeat his mistakes until he learns from them. However, in the final installment of the series, he begins a new cycle with possession of the Horn of Eld.
Okay, I'm waiting for the punchline.
No. Really.
Indicating that he has finally grown as a character, and what comes next may be his last adventure through the loop. This movie is the last adventure, and the problem with this is twofold. On one hand, it destroys the ambiguity of the story for fans of the books. No one needed or wanted to know what happens to Roland after he is transported back in time by Gan at the end of The Dark Tower 7. Making a movie about that version of Roland is something literally no one was asking for. On the other hand, folks who haven't read the books are given an incomplete story without the context of what came before. Secondly, for those unfamiliar with the story, it's Stephen King's magnum opus. It's a tale that takes place in a number of different worlds that are all connected, in some part, to his other novels like The Stand, The Eyes of the Dragon, It, The Shining, and so on. It is the hub of his storytelling universe. This is established over the course of the series in a way that feels natural and rewarding for fans of King's work. These connections aren't just fan service Easter eggs, but rather an integral part of the story. And finally, it's a really long story. 8 novels, 1 novella, and 1 children's book, to be precise. So obviously, the best way to introduce the story to a movie-going audience is by condensing all of that down into a film that is less than an hour and a half.
Is that not good?
Oh, I mean, there couldn't possibly be a better way of doing it. A TV series? Get out of here. A trilogy? Pshaw. For context, I want you to imagine what a Lord of the Rings movie would look like if everything Tolkien wrote, including The Hobbit, was crammed into one 90-minute feature film. Or for the younger viewers, what would Rowling's Harry Potter series look like? It would probably be an incomprehensible mess, yeah? It probably wouldn't make much sense or satisfy an audience in any way, shape, or form. It would probably be a huge waste of everyone's time and money, right?
What does your heart tell you?
Okay, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the Dark Tower.
Go ahead.
All right. Our adventure begins with a couple title cards that read, "A tower stands at the center of the universe, protecting us from darkness. It is said the mind of a child can bring it down." And I'm sorry, but if your screenwriting skills are so weak that this information couldn't be revealed through exposition, well, let's just say this doesn't bode well for the rest of the movie. We open on a small commune filled with kids and oddly behaving adults with skin seams. Alerted by their strange watches, a group of children make their way to a temple. Ooh, intriguing. I wonder if they're going to build up the enigmatic nature of this strange... oh, okay, no, apparently we're not doing that. Some skin suit wearing monkey men strap the kids into a machine and a beam of energy shoots off towards a tower. A dark tower? Meanwhile, in New York, Jake Chambers wakes from a dream during an earthquake. The tremors have been increasing in frequency, along with Jake's dreams. He draws the people and places from his nightmares, and his obsession has been worrying his mother.
What's wrong? Meds stop working?
He's getting into fights at school and attending sessions with a shrink.
You know when you can't differentiate between dreams and reality.
It's not a dream. Okay, I'm not crazy.
He's a troubled kid. He hasn't been doing well since the death of his father.
When you lost your father, your whole world fell apart. You have these visions of impending hell on earth because that's how you feel inside. Even words like darkness and fire. Jake, you're describing the night your father died.
On his way home, Jake starts seeing skin suit people and gets an ominous warning from some rando on the street.
They'll take you. They steal kids like you. Cross them over. The power of your mind, that's what they want.
When he gets home, he finds out that his mom and Lon, his stepfather, want to send him to a school for psychos. Later that night, Jake dreams of Walter, the man in black, and Roland, a gunslinger. Roland and his father, Stephen, recovering from defeat in battle, are confronted by Walter. They recite the gunslinger's creed as they prepare for a showdown.
I do not aim at my head. He who aims at his head has forgotten the face of his father.
But Walter just pops in and uses his magic to suffocate Stephen.
Stop breathing.
And he ponders why his magic doesn't work on Roland and walks away while taunting him.
The tower will fall, Roland.
Back in New York, a couple people from the psycho school show up to take Jake away. He freaks out after realizing that they're the skin people from his dreams. When his mother and stepfather refuse to play along with his delusions, Jake runs away with the skin people in hot pursuit. He gives them the slip and makes his way to an abandoned house where he finds a reference to the Crimson King. Does the Crimson King show up in this movie? Nope. Do we get anything more than some mysterious red paint? Nope. Moving on. Buried within a wall, Jake finds a computer terminal prompting a destination code. He enters the number 1919 and a portal opens to Midworld. Cautiously, Jake makes his way toward the doorway but is set upon by the house security system. He screams to be let go and the house obliges, allowing Jake to pass through the portal and into a vast barren land. Okay. An absolutely pointless scene with Walter and his minions back at the temple from the beginning of the movie, and back to Jake. He makes his way through the desert and stumbles upon Roland's campsite.
Who are you?
He blathers on about his dreams, but Roland is... You know what? Hold on. I've got to address this. Who is the protagonist of this movie? I've got to assume it's Jake, because outside of that quick dream sequence flashback bullshit with Roland and Stephen, we haven't seen hide nor hair of the gunslinger for nearly half an hour. This movie is roughly 90 minutes long, and the first third barely features the true protagonist of the story. Now, we could make an argument that Jake and Roland are sharing the designation, but still, I can't be the only one that thinks this is a little weird. Anyway, Jake mentions the man in black and Roland goes mental.
He said you were one of his tricks.
He eventually calms down and Jake shows him all of his dream drawings.
Walter is here.
Yeah.
In this place.
Wait, his name's Walter?
You're goddamn right.
So they head off to find a seer that can interpret Jake's dreams as Walter investigates the unauthorized use of a portal on Keystone Earth. That was the portal Jake used to travel to Midworld. Doesn't matter. Walter visits the Dixie Pig to get help from Sayer, who reveals that the sorcerer is looking for a boy with powerful psychic abilities.
His shine is pure.
Roland and Jake travel through a long-abandoned amusement park before setting up camp for the night. They eat some rabbit while regurgitating lines about shit we already know.
I lost my father that day. You saw that?
Was it about the tower?
Yes.
And eventually, Roland kinda sorta explains the purpose of the Dark Tower and its role in protecting the many worlds contained within its boundaries.
Inside the circle is your world and my world. The Dark Tower stands at the center of all things, and it sends out powerful energy that protects the universe.
In the middle of the night, Jake wakes up and wanders off. In a forest clearing, he finds his dead father, who is actually a demon.
Darkness and fire.
Luckily, Roland is quick to the scene to save his naive companion. He explains that after every attack on the tower, rifts like that open up, and it turns out this time, one of the creatures escaped. It attacks Roland, stabbing him in the shoulder before turning its attention to Jake. But the gunslinger has 2 arms and shoots the snot out of the otherworldly creature. Pushing through the poison pain, Roland leads Jake to a village where Ara, a local seer, fawns over the boy's shine.
His shine is beyond anything I've ever seen. Shine? Your shine burns so brightly, Jake. Oh. Your gift is extraordinary, Jake.
She reads his mind and directs the gunslinger to the northern wastelands. That's where Walter's base is located, and even though this village has a portal of their own, it won't be able to send them into enemy territory. They need the villagers to send them back to Keystone Earth, back to Jake's New York, to find another of Walter's bases, which will then send them to— oh my god, this is exhausting. Okay. Later that night, the village is attacked by Walter's Taheen minions. The portal is sabotaged and the villagers race to fix it as Roland struggles to defend them. Jake is captured and taken from the village. Kinda. I mean, like 30 seconds later, Roland uses his magic gunslinger abilities to headshot Jake's captor. All good, no need to worry. The portal is fired up and Jake and Roland travel to New York. After a quick visit to the hospital to get Roland some meds, the 2 adventurers hop on a bus, slut-shame some prostitutes.
Can you join the party?
You have both forgotten the faces of your fathers.
And head out to find that rando nut job from the beginning of the movie.
They can track the shine. Okay?
They then head back to Jake's house where he finds his dead stepdad and mother, and you know what would have made this movie awesome? Like, I would have been fine with how garbage this flick is if they came into Jake's bedroom in this scene and the wall with Walter's "hello there" message. If instead of "hello there" it just said,
Alright, alright, alright.
Just that one change, that's all I need. 2/3 of the way through the movie and they just drop a McConaughey-ism that completely breaks the fourth wall and the tension. I mean, for the rest of my life I would tell everyone that, the movie is complete garbage, but that scene in Jake's bedroom is worth the price of admission.
Alright, alright, alright.
Chef's kiss. Mwah. Ah well, let's get this shit over with. Roland teaches Jake the gunslinger's creed and gets his mojo back.
I do not kill with my gun. He who kills with his gun has forgotten the face of his father. I kill with my heart.
I kill with my heart.
They load up on bullets by robbing a gun shop.
I don't want any trouble.
Well, then you're smarter than most.
Well known for being the easiest shops to rob at gunpoint. Jake gets abducted and taken to the Dixie Pig, which also happens to be a portal-based location thingy. He also uses his shine to lead Roland to his location and share the portal code. Roland shoots his way through the base against an army of people who can't be bothered to pull the f***ing trigger already. Anyway, Jake is taken to the temple and is used to launch a final assault on the tower. He does his best to resist while helping to keep the portal open for Roland. So, Walter confronts the gunslinger in a final showdown that is equal parts awesome and stupid. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's more of a 20-80 split. It's pretty meh. Roland more or less gets his ass handed to him until Jake telepathically recites the gunslinger's creed and reminds the gunslinger who he really is.
I do not kill with my gun.
He who kills with his gun
Has forgotten the face of his father.
has forgotten the face of his father. I kill with my heart.
With a final trick shot that completely ignores the laws of physics. I mean, like, how is the second bullet catching up to the first one? Especially since it has to ricochet off— you know what, no, forget it. I'm thinking way too much about this. Walter is shot dead, Jake is freed, and Roland blows up the temple along with the dozens upon dozens of children who live in the nearby facilities. What a dick. Time for a hot dog.
What breed?
No, it's not a breed.
As they mow down on street meat, Roland asks Jake to come back with him to Midworld.
You have nothing here?
Okay, yeah.
Gunslinger.
and the dynamic duo ride off into the sunset. Honestly, this movie and everyone that had a hand in creating it. You've all forgotten the face of your father. The end of this franchise. Thank you, Sai. I hate this movie so much. I hate that they felt the need to make an R-rated story into a PG-13 movie. I hate that they made it a glorified epilogue. I hate that it's a Cliff's Notes summary of a Cliff's Notes summary of an 8-novel epic. Everything about this movie feels rushed or neutered. It's technically lackluster and generic, artistically bankrupt. I mean, how they managed to turn a fun and original adventure into a banal, derivative slop fest is beyond me. Well, no, not really. It's late-stage Hollywood, so it totally makes sense. The world that is meticulously crafted in King's books is completely absent here, replaced with mundane settings and uninspired costume design. King's story was heavily influenced by spaghetti westerns, yet nothing about this movie screams western. And here's a serious question. Why didn't they just adapt The Gunslinger? Why was that off the table?
We encourage questions. It shows spirit and vitality.
Mind-blowing stupidity on display here. And the casting is all wrong. Well, not all wrong. I don't mind Tom Taylor as Jake. He was perfectly fine and did the best with what he had. But McConaughey as Walter and Elba as Roland were beyond terrible decisions. I love both of these guys as actors, but neither of them belonged in this movie. McConaughey in particular, what a joke. I definitely blame the screenwriters first and foremost, but his line delivery is laughably bad and not in line with the character in the slightest. And I'm not about to jump into some kind of fan casting here, but I just don't think I can accept anyone other than Javier Bardem as the gunslinger.
Wait, I thought all the gunslingers were dead.
Whatever. It doesn't matter, which is exactly what the screenwriters said to each other when the topic of character development came up. Doesn't matter. Why bother, right? Like, why does Walter want to destroy the tower? In the novels, it's established that he's doing this in service of the Crimson King, who wants to return the universe to a primordial chaos. In the movie? If I know. Just for shits and giggles. And the entire point of Roland possessing the Horn of Eld is to show that he's grown as a character and now operates through love and friendship instead of violence and death. But instead of filling the movie with companions like Eddie, Susanna, Jake, and Oy, we just get Jake, and a gunslinger who still relies on violence to accomplish his task.
And his heart's consumed by vengeance.
Fucking brilliant. What a piece of garbage. This movie makes my blood boil.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your pain? Okay.
The entire thing plays out like an Easter egg hunt for fans of the books. None of the references are developed for an audience unfamiliar with the story. And the story that is presented is a pale imitation of the source material. The icing on the cake is that, thanks to the long line of jackasses who fumbled the ball for nearly a decade of production hell, we are never going to get another adaptation.
Nothing would be a bigger honor or make me happier in my career than to be able to work on that.
The odds of getting a Peter Jackson level retelling of Roland's story are slim to none.
I hope there's a chance. I really do.
And maybe, just maybe, Amazon or Netflix might try to do a serialized version.
No!
Which is the format this story really needs.
Is it a series? Is it a franchise of feature films? I don't know. It's all of those things. It's none of them.
But they'll end up making Susanna the main character. I mean, they'll gender swap Jake, and inevitably, probably around season 3, replace the actor playing Roland and make the whole show about Donald Trump. Anyway, go watch this garbage if you want. It's your life. Live it however you want. But personally, I'd recommend steering clear of The Dark Tower, because it is a truly terrible movie.
You just gotta keep living, man. Livin'.